So morning lovelies, let's just have a few moments to sort of settle and cool down. It's a warm morning, so just come onto your mats, lying or seated, and we'll just become still for a moment and tune inwards rather than outwards. Perhaps close your eyes. Come to notice your breath. Have a moment to scan from head to toe, and noticing how you're feeling in all parts of your body and the joints of your body, the muscles. If you're aware of any ailments or painful areas, just being mindful of your practice. Take a moment to observe how you're feeling. Noticing if you can bring a word to the emotion. And as we just settle and ground, being aware of the mind as well. How busy is the mind? And with these few moments, has it started to just quieten a little? Have a glance through all of your chakras, starting at the root, and then sacral, solar plexus, and your heart. And then throat, your third eye and crown. And just lingering an observation on each area, noticing whether you feel quite balanced there as an instinctive feeling, or whether there was a knowing that something felt out of sorts. And usually a physical symptom will show that. If your belly is disrupted or your throat is sore or stiff neck, then we'll know something is slightly out of balance there. So we're going to start our stretches. If you're seated, just join me in a lying position. And then on your next inhale, right arm up and over. Moving the arm first, I always think, because you can attune into how that feels, and then bring the toes of the right foot up and flex into your foot. And then start to gradually stretch, lowering that right leg down and really lifting the right arm up. Stretch into the palm of the hand and the fingers wide. And then just this whole stretch evolves. And then point the toes of the right foot. And then when you're ready, exhale, arm just gently comes down, palms up. Just being very mindful of these basic movements. We'll do the same on the left. Inhale. Noticing how it feels as you move the upper arm over, whether the hand comes to the floor behind you, flexing the foot, and then exploring this stretch. Is it easier one side than the other, or are they pretty similar? Point the toes. And then exhale, arm comes down. Noticing any tingling in the palms of your hands, sometimes you'll feel that. A deep breath and a long sigh. And then inhale, both arms up and over. And tuck the chin in a little so that we can get that length through the neck, and then just enjoy flexing, then pointing the toes, moving the ankles. Lovely long stretch here. Imagining that your spine is just growing, that the cartilage between the vertebrae is sort of plumping up like a dry sponge. And then when you're exhaling next, just bringing the arms down. feeling like there is a little bit more space in you. So next, drawing the right knee in, hands around the shin, and as always, we'll do the 3 breaths. So inhale, exhale up. Hold the breath out just for a moment, and then inhale down. Left side. Inhale, exhale, coming up. Release all the breath out of the body, all the stagnant air. And then inhale down, both knees in. Same again, deep breath. Breathing belly up to chest, exhale. Belly falls to spine. And then inhale down, gently rock. How does your back feel today? Maybe it's the first time that you felt how the muscles in your back feel as you roll from side to side, the muscles on the outer part of your body. It's really lovely just to really tune into the sensations rather than just, mechanically rolling on your back. Notice how it feels. Okay, so we're going to take the arms and legs up into the air. We'll stretch through this way today. Stretching fingers, stretching toes, and then thumbs in, thumbs out. Just warming up all the joints. And then flexing wrists and ankles backwards and forwards to start. Perhaps that feels nice and freeing in the wrists, and then rotating. Other way. Lowering your arms down. Keep the legs raised and we'll just cycle to warm up our knees. How do they feel today? Any noises or clicks? And then reverse cycling. Gently feeling that engagement that you have to engage in the belly for this position. And then gently, let's lower the knees. Take a deep breath, release the belly. Put the left foot down. And raising that right leg, big circles. How happy is your hip? As you do this, how stable is your body on the floor, on the mat? Is there a lot of movement? So after a few times each way, let's swap legs, left side, and then just again, both directions. A few times. As you bring the leg up, how tight does your hamstring feel? And then when you're ready, just draw the knees in. Have a moment, little hug and a rock if that feels nice. And we'll roll up to seated. Just do upper body. If you want to come onto your cushion, I always like to draw it back towards you. So you can just rest hands to chin mudra if that's comfortable for you. Close your eyes and we'll take the chin down to chest. Just pause here. How much tension are you holding in your upper body? And then chin up. As you do this, what do you feel through the back of the upper back? Any compression here? And then down again. Once more up. And then just center, tilting the head right, left. Just a momentary pause each side. We'll do that again. And just feeling your body, the muscles that are stretching, coming center. Now twist, just looking over the right shoulder and left. As you do this, does it feel like there is any straining anywhere? Where do you feel it stretch down your back? and then center. And then finally, just drop the head down and rotating the head all the way around, just either way. And noticing whatever you feel, whether it's comfortable on some part of the rotation and another part, there's a little twinge. And then coming back to center. And finally, just opening your eyes, drawing your hands to your shoulders and rotating, loosening up through the arms and shoulders here. And as we've just done those warm-ups, notice if your mind has been elsewhere at all, whether you are actually really quite with the moment, releasing the arms, and present with your sensations, or whether you were thinking of shopping lists. I always find it curious because they're such easy movements and we know them, and your mind could wander off, but were you present? It's a lovely, 5-minute exercise of actually just being present with yourself. Okay, so coming off cushions, just bring your feet into butterfly for a moment because it's always lovely to do this stretch before we start. Just a soft one, just a warm-up stretch still, so just let yourself soften forward. How do you feel in your hips today in this position? Do they feel achy? Where else do you feel anything, perhaps inner legs? Rest the head forward for a moment, let it become all sort of floppy, relax into the upper back. Take a few deep breaths here. Coming into your body. Lovely. Lifting the head. So, we'll just do seated cat-cow. And then a couple more stretches as well. So crossing your legs, just so that you're comfortable. Resting your hands on your knees and inhaling forward. Exhale, round into the back. Let the head drop and sort of hang back from your knees. And then inhale forward. Take a nice long inhale and a long exhale. And as you fall into this curve into your back, where do you notice it most? Lower or upper back? And then we'll start to rotate. Come clockwise and we'll just do perhaps 3 in each direction. Close your eyes if you want to. And notice what you feel through the sides of your body as you just rotate. Stretching through the muscles around the back ribs. And then after 3, just go in the opposite direction. Being just mindful of what you feel. Can you feel sensation all the way up to your shoulders, shoulder blades? And enjoying being in your body. Let's come back to a stillness at the centre. We'll twist a little bit more than we did earlier. So nice tall spine, right hand on left knee, and literally just looking back over your left side. Try and relax your belly. If your belly feels tight in the abdomen, just let everything feel quite easy as you breathe here. And feel whatever you feel from this twist. And we'll come into the other side, nice and slowly, just warming up still. Awareness on what you feel around your hips in this particular movement. And then coming back to centre, we'll take the right hand down, we'll lift the left one up and leaning over. And again, just pause here. Gaze upwards, you can just feel a really lovely stretch. Try and keep your left buttock onto the mat. Can you feel it all the way up underneath your armpits? Feels good. Other side. Notice if your breath has become shallow and up into the chest. Just see if you can deepen your breath. And as you do that, you feel a little bit more of a stretch to the side of your waist, coming up to centre. Lovely. Okay, come to standing. I'd like to come into tree pose, working with the root and also how balanced we're feeling today. So take a moment on your mat. As you open into Tadasana, we take this opportunity to lift all of the toes, plant each little toe down individually, become aware of all four corners of the feet, lift the arches if you need to. And just have that lovely kind of proud feeling as we lift our chest, our tailbone curls under. And then weight into the right foot, coming up into tree pose, wherever you're comfortable today. You can try higher up, and then sometimes I always feel like I might have to come lower. Depends how balanced you're feeling. So as you pause here and get the pose quite still, awareness now to your breath and the belly. And then inhale, taking arms up. Exhale, open. And then together. And back down. Lovely. And release. Give your legs a little shake if you need to before we come into left side. So grounding. And coming up wherever you feel comfortable. Hands to heart. Gazing at drishti. That point of concentration or focus. And then breathe in, arms up. And out. Together. And down. Lovely. And release. Again. Notice how you feel. Today that felt quite strong for me. Usually my left side is really wobbly, but it's nice to just experience how you're feeling in the moment. Okay, so feet about hip distance apart. We're just going to inhale, take the arms up. Want to stretch through the back. Exhale as we swan dive down. Bend into your knees if you need to. Notice what's going on for you today through your spine. And even if you haven't got any issues with your spine, sometimes just coming into this position, you'll notice something. Take a couple of deep breaths here and we'll roll up. And I just want to do that one more time. As we bring the arms up, we're going to come onto toes just for a moment. So inhale and then come onto your toes. So another way of exploring balance. And then lower your heels down and we'll swan dive again. Enjoying this stretch through the back of the body. This is stimulating your bladder meridian whenever we bring the body forward like this. And you can hold onto your elbows if you want to. Take a couple of deep breaths and really enjoy how your back opens up and the ribs. And then release the hands, we'll roll up. On the inhale, stacking the spine. Okay. So we'll do self-salutation. We'll come to do it quite nice and slowly. Coming to the top of your mat, we're going to start with the right leg going back. So bring hands to heart centre. Think about yourself today. Friday, the weekend ahead of us, a little bit of self-care. So take a lovely deep inhale. And as you exhale, release the arms down. We take the right leg back into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. And just take your time to place your feet, sink into this. You might need to part your feet a little bit more. Feeling that lovely stretch in the right hip flexor there. Deep belly breaths. And then opening up into Warrior 2. Gazing at the middle finger of your front hand, drishti. And then Parsvakonasana. Lovely side lunge here. And then we're going to rotate the hands down. We're going to come into pigeon. Left knee is bent, right leg stretches behind us. Take a pause here. Notice that deep feeling in the left buttock and perhaps that stretch on the top of the right leg. Onto elbows if you want to. We're just going to pause and enjoy this pose. Let the stretch develop. Deep belly breaths. Try not to let it just be chest, shallow breathing. Feeling that intensity deepen. How does that make you feel? Is it quite interesting to watch the body stretch and feel the stretch? Or is there an impatience and intolerance here? When you're ready, just bring your hands back up. Turn the back toes under really slowly. Come out of this into down dog. And just feel everything start to sort of whoosh through the body again. The blood flowing, lymph flowing. Positioning yourself in a lovely strong down dog. Arms really engaged. The base of each finger pressed into the mat. Lifting that tailbone. Doesn't matter if the heels are down or the legs are straight. It's more about that lovely length through your back. Deep breath in. Lower the knees down. 3 crown rolls. Forehead down. Breathe onto the crown as you inhale. Back to the forehead. And some days you might find this uncomfortable, and then other days you might find it really quite invigorating and stimulating. Notice where you are with it today. And then take yourself back into Balasana, where the hands are back down to the feet, into child's pose. In itself, this is a restful pose, but also a very deep compression. Relax the shoulders and arms. And then when you're ready, just take one more breath. And we'll lift up. Bring the hands either side of the head first and then lift up, because having the head very low, we can get a little bit dizzy. From here, just turn your toes under. Enjoy a nice little stretch to the plantar of your feet as we come up. Come to standing. I'm going to come to the other side of the mat as we go through the other side of that little sequence. So have a moment, just bring hands to heart. Check in with your heart rate, the position and structure of your feet. And we'll take a deep inhale. Exhale. And then we'll take the left leg back, raising the arms, Virabhadrasana 1. In this pose, think about where the weight is in your feet. In the front foot, is it all in the ball of the foot? In the back foot, noticing again ball or inner foot. And then warrior 2, just adjusting the positioning of your feet if it's all out of balance. Feeling strong. Let's see if we can just come a little bit more forward with our front foot here and sink into this pose a little bit more. Feeling strong. And then Parsvakonasana. Really enjoying this stretch through the side of your body. This really enhances your gallbladder. The energy for that organ in the body. Coming down into pigeon, right knee bends. And the foot just comes in front of the left leg. And as before, either staying upright in this pose or if you want to come onto your elbows. Just being very gentle with your knees if your knees are a bit tender today. Come down. As you sit in this pose for a while, notice if you are overly clenching the right buttock. And if you let go of that muscle, it does deepen the feeling, but just relaxing into that if you can. Deep breaths. Notice also your thighs and maybe your right calf muscle if there's tension held there. Breathing to your belly, relaxing any tightness in your abdomen as well. Okay, coming up to hands, turning the back toes under, slowly move into down dog and enjoy the chi, the prana that starts to flow as we come out and into this posture. Again, grounding, strong long back, strong arms. How do your elbows feel? How relaxed is your neck? Awareness is on Ajna and Manipura chakra, your solar plexus. Deep inhale. And then slowly down, we'll do 3 crown rolls, just to balance from the other side. And tuning into maybe the colour indigo, purple or violet and white. Or perhaps if you want to tune into the higher 5th dimensional energies, you can maybe conjure up the idea of crystal in your mind for both of these centres. And then when you're ready, let's come into Hasta this time. So taking maybe the knees wide if that feels comfortable, stretch the arms out in front of you. Forehead down, creep your hands forward so that your arms are quite active and engaged. And you feel your shoulder blades being lovely and stretched away from your spine. Deep breath. And then gently walking up. Just sitting back on your heels, thunderbolt pose. This is really quite a lovely stretch. You could sit here, this is sort of a meditation position. Lovely stretch for your knee joint and also the tops of your feet if that isn't a discomfort for you. Okay, gently, again, turn your toes under. Lovely little stretch again for the plantar of your feet and coming up to standing. So, Trikonasana. Taking the legs about a leg length apart. Coming up, arms up. Activate biceps, wrists just round, hands to hips. Turning in the left foot, out the right foot. And hips back round so that we're in alignment with the body. Right arm out, coming down. And raising that left arm, Trikonasana here. Tune into how this feels in your body and whether you're getting a similar stretch to what we did earlier when we just sat there and leaned the body over and came into a stretch in the side. And then gently come up. Let's just swivel the feet round to the opposite position and Trikonasana to your left. Does it feel the same coming into this pose or slightly different? Is it easy to open up that right shoulder? Okay, gently come up. We'll come into Warrior 2. Into Reverse Warrior, Sun Warrior. So the back hand comes to the leg behind and just looking up. Back to Warrior 2. Swivel your feet round to the other side. So we literally just turn in the opposite direction. Sinking down into this, feeling strong. Very grounding pose, but also good for solar plexus. Sun Warrior. And then back to Warrior 2. Forward facing feet. Clasp your elbows. We're going to come down into pendulum. So bring the elbows up. Turn towards your right. And as we exhale, we come down. Nice and slowly swing over to the left side. Coming up. And then down. Reverse that, swing to your right. And then come up to standing, and then we'll just simply come forward. Take a nice deep breath in. And forward fold, exhale, holding arms. And let yourself dangle here with the legs wide. Really try and release through your neck. Okay, let the hands come to the mat and walk your hands forward. So it's almost like coming into a down dog with the legs wide. Only as far as when the heels want to start lifting. Notice what you feel in your shoulder blades and the upper part of your back. Feels lovely. And then coming back. We're going to walk the hands over to the right shin, right ankle, this area. And then lift as you inhale. And as you exhale, just fold the chest towards the thigh. Really tuning into what you're feeling in the back of your leg. And then once more, just lifting up. And then coming towards the right leg. Come over to the left. And just 2 of these again. Just clasping onto the leg. Inhale, lift and flatten the back. Exhale, body towards the leg. One more. And really feeling what you feel in the backs of your legs, hamstrings there. Okay, hands back to center. We'll just walk the feet in. Heel, toe, heel, toe. I'm just going to turn sideways. We're going to come up and do chair pose. Anyone with lower back issues, just being very gentle here. Otherwise, engage belly. Bring the arms nice and parallel. And come up as if you're sitting in a chair. Try to have a lovely flat back rather than curling into your spine. And then just gently coming up, release the arms. Okay, take Shavasana. Have a moment to lie down. Notice how you're feeling. Enjoying a moment of pause and reflection on your body. Nice deep breath in and a sigh. How many breaths does it take to really relax your back? Start to really notice where you're holding tension through your whole back, whether it's lower back or middle or upper back. As you start to let go one area, then usually the next area follows suit. Nice deep belly breaths. And we'll draw right knee in and left knee and have a nice little hug. Gently roll, massage your spine. And gently as you do this, you're massaging the digestive system internally. Ever so gently. Okay, happy baby. Let's just draw the soles of the feet up to the ceiling. Knees come out wide and either clasping the soles or ankles or backs of thighs. As you come into this pose, notice how tense you might be and tight in the abdomen. And can some deep belly breaths that move up into the chest release this tightness? Try to relax around the hips. This is wonderful for hips and your sacral energy. So if you're feeling really quite emotional or stuck in life, you know, you're not, there's big boulders in the way of your stream, there's resistance at all turns, then coming into and releasing this energy is helpful. Draw the knees in and just feel that nice release around this whole hip flexor and pelvis area. Let's have a nice little rock again. So I'd like to, sometimes often in my yin classes, I like to offer a yogi's choice pose, because it's lovely to be guided in your practice, but also sometimes you might think, oh, my body really needs this movement today, and I know exactly the pose that's going to do it. So take a pose now that your body really needs. It might be child's pose, it might be fish pose, or raising your legs, for instance. But have a little think. Often when someone is presented with a choice, your whole mind goes blank. I know this. So just think about what you might need. You might want to have a pillow and just sort of relax back over it. Something gentle. It doesn't have to be a strong pose, but just think, does my back need something? Do I need to twist? Do I need to side stretch? So we'll just have a few moments where you choose. You might come into a pose and it doesn't feel right, so come out of it and choose something else. Just be guided as to what you think you need, or you might know that you need. Does your body want to stretch backwards or forwards? And as you come into a pose, notice why you've chosen it perhaps. Did you feel like you just needed to be supported? Or you needed to relieve something physically? Perhaps the pose you've chosen really opens up the breathing for you. Or emotionally it feels safe. Whatever pose you've chosen, try and draw your awareness to your breath. Relaxing perhaps wherever is tense. And then take a nice long breath. Come up out of the pose that you've chosen. Just take Shavasana for a moment and feel whatever after effect that you feel. Ask yourself, check your internal dialogue. Why did you choose that pose? And is the after feeling exactly what you needed? Take some nice long slow breaths. We're going to come up in a moment for Nadi Shuddhan, alternate nostril breath. So when you're ready, just hug in. Give yourself a lovely hug. Bring the head up if you need to stretch more through your back. And then join me seated. And just do a little bit of Nadi Shuddhan. And then we will naturally, in this seated position, go into a little bit of quiet meditation as well before we lie down and really relax. But it's nice to go through the stages in our yoga practice, warm up, some strong or some movement in our sequences, and a pose of your choice. Coming into Nadi Shuddhan now. So backs of the hands on thighs. Close the right hand, just open your left, close your eyes. And just breathe 2 or 3 times and explore this Nadi. this channel, this nostril. How free-flowing does it feel? Swap sides, close the left hand, open your right for a few moments. And is there any significant difference in how you breathe? Okay, we'll close the left hand, we'll begin. I'll just talk through the first round and then we'll naturally just go into this. So left hand open, breathe in. Close, open the right, breathe out. With the right hand open, breathe in. Then close, open the left hand, breathe out. And we'll carry on. Relax your face and shoulders. Don't worry how long we're doing this, just enjoy the practice. Nice long breaths. Draw your awareness to your third eye. Gazing into that void. Staying with your breath and the sensation around your nostrils. And just staying with meditation, but as you come to breathe out through your left side, bring your hands to Dhyana Mudra, just one on top of the other in your lap. Close your eyes. And just stay with this stillness a little bit longer. You can follow or count your breath if you wish. Give yourself permission to just be still. Witness your thoughts. Come back into the gap between your thoughts if you can. And then very gently, if you want to stay in this position, please do. But if you want to lie down for a nice relaxation and visualization, then again, choose what your body needs. Get yourself comfortable. And so carrying on with this sort of quietness, this little visualization called the silent glen. As you lie or relax in whatever way that you've chosen, imagine you are beginning to walk up a glen. The day is fine and warm, and you know that this glen leads to a beautiful waterfall. The path is wide and clear and follows a stream. The sun is on your back, and all that you are aware of is the sound of the trickling stream as it meanders along. Ahead of you are hills clothed in heather, a deep purple. Mountains, high and majestic, rise up in the distance, and all around is openness, space, room and freedom that allow you to breathe. You take in a deep inhalation, and the air is fresh, cool and pure, full of natural prana. All around you are aware of the isolation, the free open path, the natural landscape, the uncluttered skyline, unlimited space. This path takes you up and the stream becomes more active, the water gushing over stones, creating deep pools and miniature falls. You stop at a small wooden footbridge and look up the glen. A deep gorge is ahead, and you can hear the thunder of the falls in the distance. As you walk further, you can feel the dampness in the air, the shade, the moss, trees overhanging the gorge, creating shadows. You approach the waterfall. A large canopy of water is gushing from way high up, sending a shower of spray, and in this spray is a rainbow. The complete spectrum arcing into the side of the gorge. You stop for a while at this spot and just admire the beauty. The waterfall is so powerful, the noise is deafening. A continuous flow of water from the fells above, and you feel invigorated, compelled to visit the source. So you begin to climb the high, rugged path. Each step takes you, bringing you to the top of the gorge. And soon you come out onto a sunlit plateau where the fells are bright with purple heather and the mountains are in front of you and the source of the waterfall, a series of gentle streams uniting, and in that unity is oneness. Ahead of you, the path leads over the moorland to a headland, and a sandy cove appears. You'll make your way towards it. A small boat is moored with a boatman ready and waiting to take you back. You get into the boat, you lie back and relax, into the sound of the oars brushing the water in the deep, even strokes. The water is still and placid, and you sink into a very deep relaxation, breathing in tune to the steady movement. Allow yourself this time to relax, let go, and let go into the rhythm of the oars, skimming the still placid water. As you lie there, just noticing what's in your mind right now. What images you're seeing, and what feelings you're feeling. Are your thoughts loving or self-critical? And maybe just take the opportunity to give yourself a lovely affirmation in this moment I'm doing the best I can. I am enough. I love me. Anything that you resonate with. And just saying to yourself the rest of your day will be lovely and joyful and pleasant, and everything that comes into you will be joyful and beautiful. Often when we set this intention, we draw that vibration in rather than the opposite. So gradually just wiggling fingers and toes. Take a nice deep breath. Starting to come back into your day. And if you're lying down, just gently hug your knees in now. Slowly, just rocking. If you're already seated and you just want to flex your spine, roll the head, just feeling the body again coming back. And gently, you can roll up to seated. We'll chant 3 Oms together, as we always do end our practice. So just resting hands to Chin Mudra. Have a moment to ground again. See the roots come down, and we'll take a deep breath in. And then bringing hands together, rubbing your palms, feel the heat. And then warm palms over your eyes. Blinking, letting the light through, and just drawing your hands to your heart. Om Shanti, Namaste.